Mental health is so important. People don't pay enough mind to it.
Hey, Ariana, I overheard. Do you, want to smoke some pot or something?
Hot, let's smoke some crack, man.
I'm good.
Pete Davidson is mentally ill. He has mental illness. He's ill. He has an affliction of the mind. His thoughts and emotions swirl together in a way that makes him prone to going off the edge. He's living on the edge. He can't help himself. He can't help himself at all. He says he has a borderline personality and everything is so extreme. She brought him up to her limitless world. She offered the magic elixir he'd always been waiting for. The door to ecstasy magically parted ways and he plunged in head first. She made him her bitch. He felt like such a special girl. Her toxic femininity deconstructed his imaginary masculinity. After the fantasy ran its course, she discarded him. She threw him back to the peasants, back to the shadows, straight from the A-list to the D-list. His once grand life seemed so pequeño, never grande more. His future dream wife cut him out of her heart without a knife. The wound left no blood, only a box of her signature extension ponytails. Sometimes when you add an X to an XX, you strike the fuck out. Damn, I'm good. He dumped his longtime girlfriend in an instant to get with Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande got it like that apparently. Miss Extendo ponytail, oversized sweatshirt, thigh-high boots looking like jailbait. 25 going on 15. She seriously looks very, very, very young. Like, so young it's really not funny. Like, so young that every guy who goes out with her automatically starts having a statutory rape vibe, no matter how young he happens to be. She's 25, so it's not like really even a thing, but she looks alarmingly young, which is probably why her elementary school age fan base is still growing to this day. New kids enroll in school every year. Ariana Grande can sing her scrawny 25-year-old ass off. I'll give her that. The production team and corporate machinery holding her down ain't too shabby either. She parlayed that Disney Channel flow better than the everyday bro. That's for sure. But to keep it 100, her personality seems fake at best and completely diluted and annoying AF at worst. She not only thinks God is a woman, she thinks that she's a woman, and she clearly thinks she's God, which I'd say is fairly fucking insane. The mania between her and Pete could not possibly have been sustained over a lengthy period of time, and Mac Miller's passing was the beginning of the end. She could no longer keep flaunting her relationship in the face of that. Backing away from that mania seemed like going backwards. And the great Ariana Grande, the God woman, she doesn't go backwards. She's always on the rise, always going forward. Come to think of it, she mirrors a lot of the fitness motivation you commonly hear on social media. But anyways, dialing the relationship down popped the bubble. It wasn't real. It wasn't as real as life and death. So it was over. She dumped Pete like a heavy, steaming load plops into a public toilet. Fast AF, no taking that shit back. And then it seemed like the next day she was doing a concert with her soulmate finger tat covered up with a bandage. Dude hit her up like, "What about how you tatted my dead dad's badge number on your body?" She'd be like, "I'm getting that covered up. That's really cold. That's like the coldest thing ever. You get a tat representing my guy's dead hero father. Honey, your father's memory lives on my skin through the magic of tattoo forevermore. Dang, honey, I love you. You are my soulmate." Then she basically erases the tattoo, signaling she doesn't care about any of that anymore. That's like The ultimate burn, the ultimate disrespect. No one could have expected her to get a tattoo of his dead dad on her, but once you do something like that and you get rid of it just a few months later, that's just really bad. And remember, this Pete kid was already seriously messed up mentally. Now he gets dumped by this superstar that he put on a pedestal, who gave him a reason to live, and she basically erases the memory of his father from her body, which is just weird on so many levels. But he's absolutely tripping balls hardcore, so he does the only thing he can do to make himself feel better, the one thing he even does to deal with the grief of losing his father, and that's make some jokes about it. Well, that was very quickly followed up by the God is a Woman herself publicly shaming him for getting on with his life in the only way he knows how, and her millions and millions of fans go after him, as well as the Mac Miller fans who were already after him. The hypocrisy of her shaming him for making some jokes about their relationship when she comes out so quickly with a song called Thank You Next, which is all about how hella dudes taught her things, including Pete, who she mentioned by name, and how she realizes she's perfect and looks forward to having more adventures with herself where she uses hella more dudes. Oh, but that's artistic expression. Well, telling jokes as a comedian is also artistic expression. Now this God is a Woman character pokes fun of mental health in the form of Kanye West and says some generic girl power shit. You girls are so powerful, go listen to my powerful song and support every powerful thing I do. She says mental health issues shouldn't be weaponized, but apparently being a woman should be weaponized. Next thing you know, Petey pops up, commends Kanye West for talking about being off his rocker, and then a short while later, he tells the world he wants to off himself and deletes his IG yet again. Then God is a Woman tweets that she is at his building. Why did she tweet about it? She knows where he lives, has plenty of people who can get in touch with him for her. Why tell the entire world unless you really just want to make a statement to the entire world? Because everything in your life is about your God complex and performing for the public. NYPD did a wellness check on little Petey and he seemed aight. A little bit later on that evening, he introduced the musical act on SNL in the most despondent manner. They said dude wasn't in any of the skits that night because he was sitting in his dressing room all checked out like. Who knows what the future holds for this poor chap, but let me just tell you, this God ain't a woman, bro. Besides that, Ariana is super popular and rich and has the most fake ponytails of any woman on earth with matching thigh-high boots, but there are way hotter women out there who won't make it all about themselves all of the time. Okay, that's a lie. They will make it all about themselves all of the time, but you won't give a fuck because they aren't this superstar singer with almost 140 million Instagram followers who lifted you out of the ashes. She'd probably just be an aspiring thought using you for money and fame. I know, you ain't ballin' like that, but you're famous and these thoughts are highly desperate. They just need one good reason to think you got a bag and they on it. Believe me, I ain't even on TV. You'll feel much more in control that way. It'll help you heal and get Ariana's curse off of you. Ultimately, when you've grown and matured, you won't need emergency pussy to get your priorities in order, but you ain't at that level yet. And we're dealing with a huge pop star with millions of fans who are harassing you every second of the day. You need to work on your mental health. Find God. Find a God, find some gods, but never make God a woman unless that woman is your mama or your daughter or has put in so many years with you that you reach a point where the world has changed and the long years of your life are utterly spent. I got that last bit from Lord of the Rings.
I felt bad because she was like, well, if you don't stay with me, I'm going to kill myself because you're the only reason why I'm living. And I felt really bad, so I was like, listen, if this is the only reason why you are living, you should probably kill yourself, all right?